It's all about your quarterback. That's just the way it works in the modern NFL, and no team has learned that lesson the hard way, like the Tennessee Titans, who have endured quarterback play this year that's ranged from mediocre to catastrophic for the majority of the season. Now, luckily for them, Week 17 went as well for their draft stock as it possibly could have. Tennessee lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars to jump up into the third spot, and the New York Giants pulled a surprise upset over the Indianapolis Colts, which moved the Titans up to the second overall pick. Now they sit only behind the New England Patriots in the draft order, a team who has found their quarterback of the future in Drake May. There's also a chance that the Patriots win this week against the Bills, who are going to be resting their starters, vaulting the Titans all the way up to the first overall selection in April. But all of this hinges on the Titans losing in Week 18 at home against the Houston Texans. This one game is all that stands between them and likely landing quarterback one in the 2025 draft. Win on Sunday, and you fall down into the 5 to 7 pick range. Lose, and you're either picking first or second. The stakes for the future of the Titans franchise could not be higher. They must lose. Fans know it. Titans leadership knows it. Quarterback flexibility in an offseason where you reportedly consider figuring out quarterback to be job number one is on the line. And it matters infinitely more than any justification for a win here. And that's why the Titans should not be shy about needing to lose this week. Today's video is sponsored by Lipscomb Sport Analytics, where data meets the game. Analyze, strategize, revolutionize, turn passion into a profession. At Lipscomb Sports Analytics, you're getting game-changing insights in career-defining skills. Get off the sideline and get into the action with Lipscomb's Sport Analytics program, where you will learn to make the calls that count. Lipscomb University's Sports Analytics program is turning sports fans into data-driven decision makers in the exciting world of professional athletics. At Lipscomb, they're not just watching the game, they're changing how it's played through their innovative sports analytics program, the sponsor of today's video. Of course, you can't just come out and say it. Why? Well, that's just not the way the NFL works, right? Admittedly, tanking is taboo. It goes against the culture of the league. It breaks the game of meritocracy the league is built upon. In many instances, it's a great way to sow discord in a locker room or amongst your staff. People in this profession are paid to win. They're wired to want to win. So it's a touchy subject. But the pomp and circumstance of it all is silly at times. And for the Titans, these are those times. Everybody understands what's up here. We all know what's at stake. We all know what's in the back of the minds of each coach, front office executive, and the owner of the team, their pick. This is the rare situation in which there's not really any real reason to be coy besides the appearance of it all, especially with the state of this quarterback draft class and the free agents who are going to be available to you. Their hand is almost forced in needing to lose this game. One side of this pros and cons chart is just too overwhelming to deny. So you'll never hear a coach or a player come out and openly admit to wanting to lose. You just can't say it, but you can do it. It can't be obvious. You can't ask players to take a dive or to intentionally miss a pass or call a play that makes no sense in the structure of the game. It's a much more delicate dance than that. You have to control what you can control as a staff who is on the field. This is the way in which the Titans should shamelessly demonstrate their intentions this week. The Titans are already set up nicely to turn Week 18 into a quasi-preseason game with who they had shut down for injury and who was in the game as backup last week. Again, you can't just bench Jeffrey Simmons or Tony Pollard for no reason. You have to play the game, so to speak. So you'll look for reasons to keep key players out. The best course of action here is easy. You label all your moves as just trying to get banged up cornerstone pieces into the offseason, looking to see as much as you can from young depth players before the year is out. The shining first step has thankfully already been put in place by head coach Brian Callahan, who announced at his Monday press conference that Will Levis and Mason Rudolph will both be getting snaps against the Texans. Now, rotating quarterbacks in the NFL doesn't actually achieve the aim of winning games, which, of course, is the point here. You dress it up as wanting to evaluate both and give them both a chance to show off at the end of the year, but the real reason for doing it is obvious. Coming off of Week 17 against the Jaguars, you finished the game with 3 of your 5 offensive linemen as backups and or already playing out of position. Perfect. Running back Tony Pollard was ruled out before the game with his weeks-long ankle injury, and running back Tajay Spears left the game with a concussion. There's no reason for them to bring either of them back for this finale. On the defensive side of the ball, safety Amani Hooker and linebacker Otis Reese were already down last week, so you just keep them down. You rotate out linebacker Luke Gifford, who's a rotational depth piece, who's been playing quite well the past 2 weeks, and you put in Jerome Baker or rookies Cedric Gray and James Williams in the name of getting unproven guys some run. Defensive tackle Tavondre Sweat has been said to be battling through some nagging injuries for weeks now. Perhaps you can justify shutting him down to heal for his offseason. And maybe his counterpart Jeffrey Simmons has some nagging issues of his own, like maybe that elbow ligament that he didn't get surgery on when he first tore it midseason. Now, these are all rational, reasonable suggestions on how to lose this game. They are things the Titans can and should be doing this week to ensure that it happens. A key part in this, though, is Brian Callahan and to a lesser extent Rand Carthon feeling secure in their jobs. You can't operate like this if there is any chance you're coaching for your livelihood in Week 18. However, based on what we've heard reported so far, it seems like this isn't something that's in question right now. It stands to reason that owner Amy Adams Strunk, who's no fool, understands the situation at hand here. And surely she herself is enticed by the prospect of drafting first or second overall. And is it a bit bold? Can it be read as a bit shameless? Sure. But what shame have the Titans not already endured this season? One last week, this time doing something that's actually helpful for the future of this franchise won't hurt. For A to Z Sports Nashville, I'm Easton Freeze.